Lights up on Eric.
Here, Flora. I think it'll hold out. Chair shot, Flora! That'll do for me. That's better, so much better. Lovely. Right.
There she is, that little gorgas.
George!
Oh, looks delicious.
It's gazpacho soup. I held back on the pimentos. I'm worried it hasn't got enough zing.
Gazpacho? When did you learn to make that?
Oh, I just followed it.
Don't tell me Spanish Civil War.
What?
You can't fool me. I can see through the innocent Aunt Mercy lot. You were out there with Franco giving it some.
Oh, you know hardly ever been outside the Cotswolds.
Balls! We've got a little red under the bed, haven't we? She's only small, but she's at the nub of things. Cuban Missile Crisis, fall of the Berlin Wall, there she is in the background waving. Cubie!
You do tickle me, really you do.
Where's the maid girl?
Inside making the salad. Although I made the starter and the pudding, I've done my fig tart.
Bugger me. You're not trying to give us the trots, are you?
Oh no. Although I do say so myself, it is rather a good one. I've added an extra twist. I've marinated the figs in some honey and you. Because I said to Flora that it wouldn't, you know, because she's cross. That it's not sunny, but I think it might.
Nothing is going to spoil this day. Where's little Lord Fauntleroy?
He's getting changed.
Oh, he's making an effort, is he?
Oh, I think so.
Well, he'd better have. He'd better keep his arse in check or there'll be hell to pay. Oh, my Sherry, look at you. I could eat you up.
But leave some room for my big tart.
But,
I think those mock clouds are blowing over now.
We're not going to have any upset today. We're going to be civilised. Felix has told me he's going to behave, and so will you.
I'm always civilised.
Oh.
What is it?
Should I put them in a vase for you?
Yes, and give Felix a shout, will you?
Hello, Bunny.
And George, you can get the wine out of the fridge, and then once Rosie arrives, we're more or less there.
What is it?
I think we've seen the last of summer.
What's the matter, Bun?
Oh, I just want it all to go well.
It will. Listen, this is the beginning of everything for us.
Yes, but you will see to the wine now.
Don't worry. Love is in the air. Everywhere you look around.
Oh, Felix.
Hello, Miss Dumbo.
Ah! Rosie, glad you could come. It's a crime we see so little of each other.
Don't know if it's a very nice one.
Oh, actually, I don't drink Italian white. It doesn't agree with me. But I'm sure we'll find a use for it. Take a seat, the others will be out soon.
The garden looks lovely.
Yes, I'm afraid it's going to rack and ruin.
The flowers smell wonderful.
Do they? This summer I don't seem to be able to... how's the nursing?
I'm training to be a midwife now.
Oh yes, your father said. How lovely.
Yes. Oh, I get sick of the fathers, the weeping and overwhelmed dads. I could really do without them. Well, because I had to do it all on my own.
Yes. How is...
Felicity.
Oh yes, I should remember that.
She's tremendous, in a little alien kind of way. Her main aim in life at the moment is to part her hair in the centre in a single, perfect, undeviated straight line.
Oh, you should have brought her.
I don't think so. I'm still at the protective stage.
I would have loved to have had a daughter. I was convinced mine was going to be a little Jennifer. I knitted ferociously in pink. Turned out to be a Felix.
Felicity is desperate for a baby brother.
Of course, I only had one viable fallopian tube, and that had to be blown through. Just after Felix was born, I decided to rest on my laurels. It's a funny thing, realising you're no longer the heroine of your own life. Well, you must bring her round another day. Let's play in the garden.
You didn't tell him that Felicity was his daughter. He didn't know.
I told him the facts as I knew them. I thought if there was anything important to say, that you would say it.
In your infinite wisdom.
As far as I can remember, just after Felix left, you seemed to have rather a lot of male friends. In any case, we didn't really talk about you.
No, of course not. It must have been a relief. I didn't quite cut the mustard, did I? Anyway, I don't care. I'm very much of the fuck you, Mrs. Bundle line of thinking. Makes all this today a little ironic, doesn't it? Oh, here he is, rolling himself. Oh, hello, Mercy.
Oh, hello, dear. Don't you look pretty?
Well, she's not a looker, but she's got character, and I love her.
That's that.
How's little Felicity?
She's a ball of energy.
Are you feeling all right about...
Yes, I'm fine. That's my girl. Come on, let's have some wine.
Yes, come on, let's get this party on the road.
Not too much for me.
Where's Felix?
Oh, I gave him a shout. He says he's just starting out the post.
The post?
Yes.
Oh, come on now, let's not worry. I'm sure he'll be down in a minute.
Sit next to me, Mercy.
Oh, thank you, dear.
See you all. Now then, first of all, I'd like to propose a toast to Flora and her future happiness.
Wait for me, I don't miss anything.
Jesus Christ!
Felix, I really think think you should review your capsule wardrobe.
I told you it would be an odd fit.
Where did you get that?
Charity shop.
I could let the hens down.
Oh, how could
It
you?
would only take 5 minutes.
What is it? What's the matter, Bunny?
It's James's suit. He's wearing his dead father's suit.
Oh, she's not smart, your mother.
Come on then, give us a twirl.
You can never be overdressed, according to my mother.
Take it off.
And also, there's a good lack of affordable millinery around these days. Isn't that right?
Just ignore it, George. We're going to have a nice day. I'm not going to get upset. It suits you, Felix. Very grunge, darling.
What's the menu?
Gazpacho soup. Yummy. I've never made it before. I hope it's going to be all right.
Please find yourself a more suitable chair.
He's fine.
Yes, I'm fine. Suitably low status.
Come on, let's get on.
Let me serve it up.
How's Felicity?
She's fine, she's at a friend's birthday party.
Causing havoc, no doubt. All right, Bunny.
Sorry. Point of order. Sorry. Call me old-fashioned, but it troubles me. My mother being referred to, even affectionately, as a rabbit.
She likes it.
And it's very accurate, Felix.
What?
Well, for a brief and rather enjoyable period in the early 60s, I was a bunny girl.
Complete with a fluffy tail.
That makes sense.
What happened? Contractual limitations?
No, I married your father and he brought me here to Morton in the mud to rot my life away. You know, Felix, the world did not begin at your conception, as troubling as that might seem. Of course, I was thrillingly thin in those days. Before my son robbed me of my figure. No, thank you, I won't have any.
Oh, please, Paula.
I'm not really hungry. I don't seem to have much of an appetite these days.
You're anosmic.
What?
Anemic.
Anosmic?
You mean anorexic?
No, anosmic. No sense of smell affects the appetite.
What?
She's not fucking anosmic.
Because of the nose job.
Not because of the nose job.
You've had a nose job.
I have not had a nose job. I've had my nose slightly rephrased, that is all.
And she's not fucking anosmic. If she was fucking anosmic, I'd be the first to know about it.
The thing about George is he can always be relied upon to give an elegant turn of phrase.
Piss off.
Does anybody want any bread?
You've been anosmic, mother, since the day father died.
Why don't you take a running jump, preferably in close proximity to a cliff?
George.
Do you think that's the best way?
What?
No, seriously, I'm interested. What do you think is the best way to do yourself in, so to speak?
Pills,
More wine, mother.
but not paracetamol. They're too slow and they play havoc with your liver.
Ah, so speaks the nurse.
The worst is sulfuric acid. You burn yourself from inside out.
Do you really think we should be discussing this at the table?
I put my head in the gas oven.
Ah, the housewife's choice.
Well, anything is preferable to cleaning it.
I've got an alga.
Doesn't work anymore.
No, it's a bit temperamental to light.
No, I mean, you can't do it with gas ovens. They fixed it so you can't do it with gas ovens.
Killjoys.
I don't think you do it with an alga either. No.
Length of hose. Easy. Length of hose pipe. In the car, attach it to the exhaust, wind the windows up. I'd have a glass of whiskey in my hand and Glenn Miller on the stereo. I'd start with something upbeat. Chattanooga Choo Choo or Pennsylvania 65000. Then, Moonlight Serenade. I'd just drift off, easy.
Dad?
Oh Christ, I never would, Rosie, love, it's a mug's game.
Length of hose, yes.
What about you, Felix? What's your preferred method?
Well, in an ideal world, I'd like to jump through a black hole.
I'm sure that could be arranged.
Why, Felix?
Oh, it's just a whim of mine.
Tell me why.
Find out what it's like inside.
How thrilling.
It is for a theoretical physicist.
Who doesn't get out much?
Theoretical physicists don't get out.
Oh, come on then, enlighten us.
When you pass the event horizon into the point of singularity where all mathematical equations break down and your body will break up into 1,000 big particles, I think it'd be quite satisfying.
Doesn't sound like much fun to me.
Well, you'd get to carry on. Maybe you would.
But it wouldn't be you, it'd just be bits of you.
It would be the essence of me. And I'd be recycled. Particles of my body would go off to form a new universe. It would be like a kind of immortality.
Well, if it's immortality you want, then you should just have a baby.
Is that what you really want, Felix? How very mundane. If you haven't made your mark while you're here, well, what's the point?
Nobody's eating my soup.
Do you think my father made it, Mark?
Sadly, no. I think he probably would feel that he hadn't.
You know, Mother, scientists at NASA once pointed the Hubble telescope at what they thought was an empty speck of sky. And they found a void teeming with galaxies. Clusters of stars billions of years old they didn't even know existed.
What are you trying to say, Felix?
Yeah, if you've got something to say, just come out and say it.
Well, I'd rather think it's you and my mother who've got something to say, isn't it?
Felix, why are you being so difficult? You know what they want.
You can't think on an empty stomach.
They want to get married. Big deal. Oh, you take everything to heart.
You're getting married?
Yes, we are.
Oh, how lovely.
Yes, isn't it? Go on, Mercy, raise your glass to the humble pines, a match made in water.
I couldn't give a fart for your opinion, Sonny.
And I'm not talking to you, Pops. Tell me, Mother, what you see again?
There's a lot to see in George. He's a very nice man underneath.
Thank you, Mercy.
I don't need your blessing, Felix, but it would be nice.
It's a bit late for my blessing, isn't it, Mother? My father died 2 months ago, but
Oh, at last Felix is up to speed.
then this has been going on for years, hasn't it? The whole world is wide are privy to that information.
Leave it, Felix.
I didn't know for ages. Ages.
How could you do this? How could you do this, Mother? How could you do this to my father?
There's no need for all this.
James knew about it.
What?
I told James about George. I told your father that I loved him, but he wasn't enough. He accepted that fact.
You told James about me. You never told me.
It didn't concern you.
I can't believe you didn't tell me.
Bravo. What a tactician.
Your father was generous to a fault.
But if he knew, and I didn't know that he knew, and he knew that I didn't know that he knew, that gave him more power than me.
Well, it wasn't a question of power. It was a question of balance.
Well, this doesn't change anything, though. It doesn't change the way things are now.
Are you sure about that, George?
Felix, you are determined to make a tragedy out of this, but you will not be able to.
My father dropped dead in this garden whilst you were upstairs waiting for your new nose to capture your lost youth so you could go off and shag Biggles.
Gay, watch it.
Whilst my father was dying, his heart was giving up on him, his heart was just bursting.
No, that is not true. Your father, his heart was not bursting. He did not die of a heart attack.
Oh, yes, boyo. You just wait for this.
Flora.
Don't give me a cigarette, George.
You don't smoke.
No, well, I'm branching out.
What is she saying?
Oh, he's asked for this.
No, don't, Flora, don't.
Dear God, what did the pair of you...
No, not me, darling. Not me and George, although that would have made sense, I grant you. No, it was his bees. James Humble was killed by his beloved bees.
It was a tragedy.
It was not a tragedy. It was sad and pathetic and shockingly stupid, ironic, funny even. Yes, hilarious, comical, but not a tragedy.
I don't want to hear this.
Shall I go get some more bread?
Sit down, Mercy. You invited yourself so you can sit through this. He knew about it, but he couldn't do anything. And may that be a lesson to you about the dangers of possessive behaviour. anaphylactic shock. He was allergic to the bee sting.
Don't be ridiculous. He kept bees for years.
You can develop it all the time without even knowing.
Oh, thank you, Rosie. If we need a little Nurse Pine nugget, we'll ask for it. Well, if it's any consolation, the bee died as well. I found your father lying on the lawn with a bee close beside him. Neither of them were moving, but I squashed the bee underfoot anyway. There's something deeply satisfying about the crunch of a dead bee. Your father always said that when it was your time to go, that there was no debate to be had. He said that bees have a finite number of wing beats, and when they're all used up, the bees just fall from the sky, in much the same way as we have a finite number of heartbeats. I doubt whether he would have been very satisfied with his quota, but no doubt the bee had a case of grievance as well.
I don't believe mine.
This doesn't change anything.
You've said that once already, George.
We're still going to get married, whatever you think.
Well, if it's any consolation, after they're married, I'm going to be your sister, and your daughter's going to be your niece. If you weren't fucked up already, this will really send you
Rosie,
Oh,
this isn't it. You promised me.
This conversation is flagging. Of course, she's not his daughter.
She is his daughter.
Not without DNA evidence, she's not.
You can't be sure of that, can you, Rosie?
Of course I'm sure, I'm her mother.
You told me it was that long-haired lad from the Bell. You promised me.
She's Felix's daughter.
I am not a grandmother, she's lying.
I'm not lying.
But there's no proof of that, is there, Rosie?
Of course there's not.
Rosie, I've been walking around with this for 4 weeks, trying to cope, trying to feel what this feels like. Please don't lie to me.
Felix, I'm not lying to you. After you left, I did sleep with a few men.
Oh, excuse me, but I think a few is not the correct collective noun in this case.
Dad, tell her.
You did put yourself about a bit, Rosie.
I was heartbroken at the time.
This is too much.
Sit down, Felix, you will not walk out on me again.
Why?
Because I am your mother, I deserve more respect.
I think you had to do some mothering to learn that title, and sadly that was never your strong point.
What?
You don't love me, Mother.
Oh, Christ on a bike.
Of course I do. My son.
Doesn't necessarily follow, does it?
You're talking nonsense.
I'm sure you tried. Oh, you couldn't do it.
Felix, love embarrasses you. You just can't turn it into an equation. Oh, there's just no constant with you.
There's no point in being constant in love. It's seen as a sign of weakness.
Oh, God, I don't know why you're crying.
Well, nobody's eating my soup.
None of this has anything to do with you.
Oh, Mercy, don't cry. It's all right. Dad, will you take them off?
I'm not listening to this crap.
It's all right, Mercy. Don't cry.
George, will you take those bloody headphones off before I rip them off?
What?
Mercy's upset.
You've got nothing to cry about, little Mercy.
Of course she has. She's never been married. She has no dress sense to speak of. And she's always been in love with you, George.
Oh, you're a bitch.
What?
It's true, Mercy.
I have not. I like George, but I've never really... You are really rude to me, Flora.
Oh, she thinks she's too good for all of us.
And if you are anything to go by, I'm very glad I kept myself to myself. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
It's people like you that give people in the countryside a bad name.
Hear, hear.
I know I'm a negligible sort of person, but I've always looked up to you, Flora, always.
You have no life of your own, and you constantly leech off mine.
Flora, stop it.
I did not choose you to be my friend. It was an accident of geography, because I'm stuck in this bloody awful Middle England, middle-class, bloody, rural, bloody deal.
Enough. That's enough. You've said enough. We've all said enough. Now let's just eat. Let's set aside our differences and eat. Would you like to say grace, Mercy, that we can all enjoy your delicious soup?
I don't know.
Please, Mercy, we're all calm now. We've exhausted ourselves soon.
I've never had those feelings for you, George.
I know that.
Just so long as you do know that.
Do.
For what we are about to receive, which none of you really want to eat, which I stayed up until 2 in the morning to make, and I didn't even have any pimentos. Had to improvise around them. May the Lord, whether you believe in him or not, I know you don't, Felix, because you're a scientist, so you're not allowed to. But anyway, I don't know if I do, because of things like James dying in the way that he did, and little Felicity for not having an identifiable father, the terrible things that Flora has said to me, and the little red bumblebees just dropping down dead from the sky. And I know that what James said about the finite number of heartbeats should be a comfort, but it is not. And so maybe up until now, I haven't had much of a life, but God has filled all of the gaps. But now, there do seem to be holes that he can't fill. So, perhaps you are right, Flora, because even though I still do the flowers in church and my various parish duties, I would say that I was unofficially on a sabbatical from God at the moment because everything is so unsettling. And I'm sick to my heart of trying all the time. Trying. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So, may the Lord, even though we're not on speaking terms, make us all, and I mean all of us, truly grateful. Amen.
Amen.
Well,
Come on, let's eat. I'm starving. It's bloody delicious.
It's got real zing to it.
Not too much seasoning.
no, it's just right.
One moment. I would really rather prefer it if Felix removed his father from the table. That's the ashes, yes. He insists he's not ready to scatter them, but I think we can do without them at mealtime.
No, stop, no, don't eat it. Stop, no.
What's the matter, Mary?
Don't eat it. I did something inadvertent. I forgot to buy the ingredient. No, please, sorry, stop, don't eat it.
I thought you were dying for us to eat it.
Well, no, oh God, this is a very bad day. Just chat amongst yourselves. You need to urgently attend to some fig tart.
I think she's flipped her lid.
You took her part against me.
I didn't. I just felt sorry for her, that's all.
Well, she's just unfortunate. It's not my fault.
Mother, go and apologise to her.
What?
Say you're sorry.
I will not.
She's lonely, and she thinks the world of you. Just tell her you didn't mean it. You'll feel dreadful tomorrow, you know.
Do you want me to come with you?
No, I do not. Anyway, it won't take long.
What?
This is all going really well, isn't it?
What does he look like?
Dad.
Winnie the bloody Pooh.
Dad, just leave it.
I'll tell you, Winnie, I'm marrying your mother, whatever you say.
Dad, just leave it. Let's all talk about something calmly. I know the subjects are limited, but come on. Let's have something starters for 10.
Glenn Miller took a long time to find his sound, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay, another go.
call my firm the Flying Pies.
What are you going on about, Dad?
No, Rosie, this is kosher. He wanted to know, he asked me.
I did after a fashion.
See, Rosie, love, this is just friendly little chit-chat. Go on then, ask me.
Why did you call your coach firm the Flying Pies?
For my dad, he was in the RAF, flew in the war. Lancasters, Sterlings, Halifaxes. He said the noise from the engines was unbearable, the droning so dreadful, and the planes were unpressurised and cold. It was 20 degrees below zero, Fahrenheit that is. So cold you couldn't think. They used to have to piss into a funnel. The desert lily, they called it. They gave them all a flotation kit, survival kit, Horlicks tablets and a Mae West jacket.
Really?
Yes, really. See, Rosie, they're friendly, isn't it? We're getting on like a house on fire. May I continue?
Yes, go ahead.
He flew on 30 sorties. Flew with 2 engines gone. He flew with dead and dying men aboard. He bailed himself out of fatal spins where the G-forces would rip your insides out. And one day, he was talking to a mate of his, another pilot, a lad from Northampton, queer as a coot apparently. Anyway, while he was talking to him, he saw this lad's face turn into a skull.
You're making this up.
And that night, that lad went out on a raid on the Ruhr, and he got himself shot down and killed. Then my dad started seeing it all the time. The face lurking behind the skull. And every time he saw it, he knew that lad wouldn't make it. He could just see it from looking in their faces. In the end, they threw him out. They wouldn't let him fly anymore. He was gutted. Lack of moral fibre. The bastards.
Oh, Dad, leave it. Come on. Get off him. Get off him, you're drunk. Come on.
No,
Go in, you're drunk.
I didn't think
on.
so.
He's harmless, really.
Rosie,
No, that subject is vetoed.
you know, my father once said a beehive was a blueprint for a utopia where sexual impulses no longer exist. And I think he must have been going through a bad patch at the time. And I don't think he was right. I think a beehive is the blueprint for a world where men are just completely useless. Where the women do all the work and the men, once they fertilise the women, they just die.
Sounds like a good system to me.
Clearly.
Felix, what did you expect me to do after you left? Hang myself to a nunnery?
I think you could have told me.
You didn't deserve to know.
You used to be straight with me.
Well, things aren't black and white in my life anymore. That's what it's like to be a parent. Anyway, I don't care what you think of me. I raised my daughter on my own and she is a credit to me. And I am a good person.
I know that.
Good.
Rosie, why did you want to have sex with me again?
I don't know. It wasn't just a casual fuck, if that's what you think. Neither were you ever as casual, Felix.
You know, I was trying to imagine what it would be like if we were still together.
Don't bother, I wouldn't have you.
No, good call.
Listen, I've got to go, I've got to get back. She gets anxious if I'm late.
Rosie, did you really name her after me? I tried to imagine, you know, the last 4 weeks, being introduced to her. And I don't even know what a 7-year-old looks like.
Well, she doesn't have your eyes, if that's what you mean. She's her own little person.
No, that wasn't what I meant.
She's about this high, and her face is full of freckles from the sun. Her knees are covered in scabs, and she's just lost her front tooth. Oh, but she is the most gorgeous child you will ever see.
I bet she is.
She wants to meet her father, you know.
What?
She wants to know his story. This is for her, you know, not for me. When she was born, I started writing a diary to record all the important moments, you know, like the first time she spoke, the first time she rode a bike, caught a ball. Oh, I know this must sound dull from where you're standing.
No, it doesn't. It's her eureka moments.
Yes, I like that. Oh, my life is full of eureka moments now I have her.
Yes.
I want you two to meet each other.
What?
She'd like you.
No.
Oh, she's so thirsty for knowledge, for answers about how the world works.
I don't know how the world works.
No, I mean things like the names of the stars and the constellations.
You can get a book for that.
Oh, a book isn't the same.
I'd be next to useless.
Well, that's not as bad as completely useless.
At least completely useless, you know where you stand.
Oh, you wouldn't be.
I just can't. I'm sorry, Rosie. I'd like to give you some money, though.
Oh, shut up, Felix. You've spent your whole life theorising. Don't you know how brilliant an offer this is? How generous I am being. I'm giving you the chance to be, well, just to be.
It's too late.
Oh, of course it's not. She's just a child. And if she is up for having a father after 7 years of being without one, then you bloody well should be. Oh. This is probably the best offer you will ever get.
Felicity, that's Cassiopeia. And there's Andromeda. And Ursa Major, of course. And Ursa Minor. And
Talking to yourself again. Where's George?
I don't know.
Is Rosie gone?
Yes.
Oh, right. Mercy's calmed down, thankfully.
I'm going today, Mother.
I see.
I need to get my things together.
What's this?
It came today. I wanted to give it to you earlier, but it just didn't seem to be the right moment.
Well, it's addressed to your father.
Yes, I opened it. I hope you don't mind.
What is it?
It's from the Royal Entomology Society.
Oh, I'll look at it later.
No, look at it now. You see, Mother, you were wrong. He did leave his mark in his own small way. Oh, Mother, remember you told me about the time you dropped me off at prep school? And you waved and waved until I was a little black dot. Until after I was a little black dot. But what you failed to remember is I didn't look back. I never looked back.
Felix.
There you are, Bunny. Been looking for you.
What's happened?
James discovered a new species of bumblebee before he died.
What?
An official letter came.
That's good.
Yes, it's a shame it arrived late, but he never got to read it.
Yes.
The recognition. It was something he always wanted to do, find and name a new species. He said it was the best way to make your name as a beekeeper. The only way to have your name live on after death.
Good for James.
It's a variety of the small garden bumblebee, Bombus otorum. Only the queen is smaller and more delicately built.
Is she?
But the point is, you see, he didn't name it after himself. He named it after me. Bombus floratum. Floris bumblebee.
That was good of him. Hey, I bet she's a looker.
I'm sorry, I can't marry you.
Funny.
I'm very, very sorry.
What are you saying?
Well, it's not right.
Bollocks!
Our families hate each other.
Our families can go to hell.
And I am already married.
No, we'll live in sin, bugger it.
No, George.
You said he wasn't enough for you. You said...
He wasn't, but neither are you. Or I am a deeply ungrateful woman. I always want more. It is my undoing, you see.
I can be more. I'm just getting into my stride.
Oh, no, it doesn't feel right being here in this garden with you. Since James died, nothing has felt right.
We'll move. We'll go somewhere else.
Don't you see? It only worked when there were three of us. Everything had its place, and now there is no equilibrium.
No, you're just disoriented. You're feeling guilty.
Yes.
I understand.
You don't. I feel I've lived my whole life in miniature, and I'm not a miniaturist. I've tried my hardest to break out, but I cannot.
We can. We will. When Mary died, I couldn't function.
Yes, poor Mary. Poor Mary, George.
Yeah, God love her. She went through it. She didn't deserve it. But my life with her was humdrum, Flora. Charming, but humdrum. When I'm with you, I feel
Spare me
like...
the metaphor, George. At our age, it's all such a cliche.
Why? Why should it be? What do you want?
I don't want. To want things has always been my gravest error. I'm going to stifle it.
Rubbish!
George, I am so old that not even the royal jelly will save me.
You're beautiful.
Beauty is not enough. It's never enough. Nature's cruel trick. When I was little, I thought I was marked out, special, that I was on the verge of something momentous happening. I had legions of butterflies in my stomach. No, that's not right. A flutter of butterflies, is it?
What?
James was always good with words, knowing the right words.
Don't compare us. You said you never would.
I don't, because it is impossible. You're painting each other's comparison. Oh, you, George, you are a monumental man. Before all this nonsense began, I'd be at the sink, and the very thought of you would catch in my throat, wrap around me, flay me. You lack precision. That is all. But it doesn't matter.
It does matter, and I can change. I can be whatever you want.
It's too late. It's gone sour.
It hasn't. It's just today. Today's been...
George, we've been fooling ourselves.
We haven't.
We're just going through the motions.
We're not. You can't do this to me, Bunny.
Oh, it's all so vulgar, the whole
Bunny,
bloody lot of it.
I love you. Don't do this to me.
I'm sorry. I was just getting my things together. I forgot I needed to...
Will you be able to get a train at this time?
I was hoping I could take the car if that's okay.
Yes, fine.
How's that?
What?
There he is. Look at him. He's won the bloody Ashes.
I'm going.
Yeah, go on. You go. You've done your worst. Now bugger off.
George.
You bastard. You big, fat, lazy, bumbling bastard.
George and I have separated.
Are you happy now? Now that you've fucked everyone's life up?
No.
Perhaps Rosie was right. Perhaps we're not good enough for the Humbles. We don't reach your elevated standards.
That is not true.
And there he is, the highest flyer of them all, Felix Humboldt. Well, you want to be careful, you know. You could be headed for a fall. You know what happened to Icarus, don't you? Oh, sorry. Did I shock you all there with a literary allusion? I'm getting above my station. I do apologise.
George!
See, Icarus and his father, I can't remember his name, but he was a boring old fart, I've no doubt. He probably kept bees in his spare time. They decided they'd go for a fly, like you do. So they built their wings. They built them of wax. Yeah, wax, you see, from the buggering bees that he kept.
I think we're familiar with the story, thank you.
Don't interrupt me, Flora, not when I'm at full throttle. So they built their wings of feathers and wax and shit. And Icarus, Icky to his mates, not that he had many, Icky flew straight into the sun, like the stupid twat that he was.
George!
So you listen to me, humble boy. You keep heading for that star. You do us all a favour and you keep going.
George, I think you should go now.
You're a beautiful woman, Flora, but your trouble is you disappeared up your own arse years ago. You want to wake up and smell the roses. Oh dear, faux pas.
I think you said your bit.
Yeah, rather good, wasn't it? Get off, I'm going. Come on. Hallelujah, bastard! Come on, Nicky, come on, let's see you fly, you bastard! Get
Stop
off!
it! Stop it, George, this is ridiculous! Please don't hurt him! George!
Oh, no, I didn't think you had it in you.
No, you're right, I don't.
Oh, what the? You said you got rid of them all!
Don't fight it!
Get a spray or something, for Christ's sake!
Well, don't threaten it, George!
It's bloody mental!
Get it back.
It's trying to kill me!
Oh, go then, I've told you 100
Jesus!
times! Go!
Jesus! Christ!
Let Eddie be.
Exit pursued by a bee. That'll be the queen. Lovely little thing. But don't rile her.
You can hear him, Mother. Please tell me you can hear him.
She'll be the only one left now. The others will have dropped from the sky.
The night number of Wingby.
That's right.
Turn and look at him, Mother.
He's here.
He's been here all summer with me in the garden.
Bombus Florida.
You can see him?
James.
Flora's bumblebee. Do you like her?
I do. The first time I saw you, I knew. I knew that no one could ever look at me like this again.
Flora?
James.
First time I saw her.
Outside the school of biology.
Outside the exam hall. I've been right from my flower.
The pollination of flowers.
I saw the sun shine through your hair.
And you came towards me, your gown flapping in the wind.
I ran to her
And you look at me,
and I said,
and you say,
did you drop from the sky? Eureka! My Flora.
name's hung. Bachelor of Science. I'm so sorry, George.
Let me show you the flowers I have planned for you.
Tell me the names of all the flowers.
Cavallera, Dubai,
A poppy?
doubtful poppy, Crocus,
Yes.
Dianthus vivax, Sweet William, or peace. Mimosa sensitiva, scent, and Zyenia elegans. Elegant.
And a sunflower. I'd like a sunflower.
Dianthus multiflorus,
Some love in a mist.
whatever you want.
Some love lies in bleeding.
Amplanthus procumbens, Hypericum fortum, Pythrum secretaria purple useful for contentment, Biennis evening primrose.
And St. John's wort.
Lavender spices, blue and white varieties, passion flowers, Paris, Sangria, vulgaris, summer flies bleeding, clematis and honeysuckle, the bees and the butterflies of clematis, honeysuckle and buckia.
Bluebells.
Compound, scented hyacinths, asters, amaryllis, spell.
Yes.
Some bees
I think I can.
The bees
James, please don't go.
have gone. Only the queen is left. She'll have to spend the winter on her own. But she's strong. She'll do
I can't. I can't spend a winter on my own. I can't. Felix. Felix. Oh, Felix, thank God. I had a terrible feeling. I don't know what I thought. It was stupid of me.
I was just starting the car. It wasn't at the beginning of summer. I was going to, but I just didn't have the courage to let go.
Oh, thank God.
I just want the chance of another life, Mark.
Say the words. You know them. You've always known them.
The night we watched the moon landing together, Dad cried. And he gave me the desire to fly. He took hold of my hand and he gave me the courage to defy physics and fly away. The night man landed on the moon, Dad cried. And the day Dad died, the sun cried bees. The sun cried bees. I release his ashes to space. The timeless void of space. Dust to immortal dust. Out and beyond. To another universe.
A better place.
The land of milk and honey.
Yes.
There.
Will you still be going back?
In a while.
It's getting dark. Perhaps you should set off in the morning. And you've eaten next to nothing.
Mother.
Well, don't expect me to wave you on.
Next be.
And blackout.